Today on Community Connection, smart, safe holidays, beginning with how to avoid becoming the victim of scams. With the holiday shopping season in full swing, e-commerce is expected to rise 5.3% to $253 billion between the 1st of November and the end of December. With so much online activity, scammers, of course, are busy as well. Online shopping scams made up more than 30% of all reports to the Better Business Bureau's scam tracker last year. Clay Campbell, Director of Marketing at the BBB Greater Maryland, joins us to help avoid being the victim. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. So let's talk about some of the scams that are out there right now.
Yeah, so online purchase scams top our list every year on Scam Tracker. So when you're shopping online, it's really important to do your research and not make an impulsive decision when you're shopping. You might find a good deal through a social media ad, or you might come across a Google search result that looks legitimate. But it's really important to double check things like the URL of the website to make sure that it's not someone impersonating a legitimate company by creating a fake but very realistic looking website using AI or logos they found on Google Images.
Right.
It's just really important to slow down and make a decision that is well researched.
So a lot of people, my parents' generation especially, don't know really how to do all of that stuff. So what are some of the things people can do to make sure it's not a fake?
Yeah, sure. So we used to be able to say things like just check the spelling or if there's any grammar issues. But with AI now, it's really easy for a scammer to prop up a very compelling looking website. So the URL, check to make sure that it's secured. In the URL, you want to see a lock or the HTTPS before the www dot and then the URL. It's also important to make sure that it has contact information on the website. If you see, an address or a phone number, you can double check with, by searching that contact information elsewhere to make sure that it is connected to the company that you think it's connected to.
Right. All right. What is a pop-up shop?
Pop-up shops. So when you're shopping in the mall or you're out at an event, you might see a vendor that props up a shop that is offering, a trinket or a fun holiday gift. Those pop-up shops at the end of that season, they typically go away. So it's important to make sure that you look up the return policies, make sure that you get a receipt and look at the fine print to make sure that there is, an avenue for you if you're not satisfied with the product that you end up with.
Right.
If you don't, if you end up with a product you don't like and the shop disappears, you can bring up, a claim with your credit card company. The financial institution can also help you out.
But a lot of those cases, it's hard for the financial institution to track these companies, right?
It is, yeah. So when a company like that disappears, it's, you're sometimes stuck in a position where you can't contact that company, and you are, relying on that financial institution to, take care of its customers.
So of course, during the holiday season, everyone wants to talk charity, right? So we know for years, even before technology, there's been charity scams. So what are you seeing right now as far as those scams, and what can people do? Yeah,
so charity scams, a lot of the times, they come along with kind of vague information. People that are approached on the street or approached online, they're just, they're not given a lot of information about where the money is going to. So what we always recommend is ask questions. It's always appropriate to get more information about the charity that you're interested in giving to. And you can also look them up online. So Better Business Bureau has give.org. There's also Charity Navigator. So again, it's really about not making a emotional decision when you're donating. It's about making a well-researched decision.
And what are some of the charity scams that you're seeing now?
Yeah, so when you submit a donation, a lot of times it's to a fake charity. That person is taking that money and running with it. They're also taking your credit card information or financial information that you've submitted online or sometimes in person. So if you find that your information has been compromised, you need to freeze that credit card, contact your financial institution, and secure your identity.
Do you see a lot of, I guess, the older population becoming victims to these types of scams, especially around the holidays?
Sure. Yep. So scammers are targeting everyone, but for the older population, they're typically more susceptible to falling victim to scams more frequently. The younger generation, according to our scam tracker data, is more susceptible to losing larger sums of money. So everyone's susceptible, but the older generations are typically, taken advantage of more often. They fall victim more frequently. It's out there so much. They're contacted on the, just by people calling their phone every day.
Right.
It's just the sheer volume that they're targeted with.
Yeah, and speaking of calling the phone, I'm sure you remember the movie Terminator, the original, right?
I
when
do.
Arnold Schwarzenegger
Great
impersonated
movie.
the voice, right?
Yeah.
So now with AI, AI can do that and sound just like a real person. So are you guys tracking these AI type scams?
Sure, yeah. So in our reports, we do see people that are commonly saying that it sounds like a legitimate person. It sounds like a family member or a friend. If you receive one of these calls, it's really important to, first to hang up and make sure with your family member or friend or the person that they're claiming to be is, if you have contact information for that person that they're claiming to be, contact them directly, rather than taking a phone call and believing that it's that person, that is asking for money. A lot of times these scammers are saying that, that person needs money to get out of, like a jail situation. They need bail money or something like that. They're in an emergency. It's really important not to make a snap decision.
Right, and I've seen the old school way where people reach out on Facebook. Like they send a message on Facebook pretending to be someone's friend. Is that still going on? Do you guys still see that?
Yep, so Facebook, Instagram, all of these social media platforms that have direct messaging options, they're all susceptible to, people taking advantage of it's social engineering is really what it kind of boils down to is people can create a profile that looks like a family member or friend, or your family member or friend could have their social media account compromised, and it could be their legitimate profile that's being used to target the family and friends list that profile has. It's really important to contact that person directly rather than believing a direct message. Shoot them a text or give them a call, just to verify, that person is in fact, in need of your help. Right.
Last question. We got about 20 seconds. What are some other tips people can do to make sure?
Yeah, so it's really important when you fall victim to a scam. There is a certain amount. There's emotion involved in that. It's it can be a point of vulnerability. It's sometimes hard to want to go report that scam, but it's super important to report the scam if you fall victim, so that you can help others prevent others from falling victim as well. If you stay silent, you're enabling the scammers to continue scamming. So really important to report it.
Absolutely. All right, Clay, we'll leave it right there. Thank you so much. Well, smarter means staying alert, verifying before you buy, and supporting businesses that value trust, of course. For more tips and trusted retailers this holiday season, visit bbb.org/holiday.
Derek! Go wash up and grab your sister.
Okay, but first... Where's Grandma?
Hey, Mama. Ma.
I'm worried about Mom.
Mom? She's fine. These the ones, right, Mama?
Yeah, groundlings.
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potato.
Daddy, it's salty.
Grandma's just getting old. Some things come with age.
And some don't.
Early detection of Alzheimer's can lead to better care for your loved one.
Add 2 eggs.
Learn the early warning signs at 10signs.org.
Most hiring algorithms would scream me out.
Some bosses couldn't see me as a leader.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper. I've been running code as long as I've been able to reach a keyboard.
This is what I do. It's second nature for me, coordinating 100 details at once.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
I sold them on my skills.
You gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
My magic is
Analytics and empathy. That's how I'm getting clients. You have to have the confidence in yourself to show up and defy the odds.
I am more than who I am on paper.
I never got a college degree. And today, I'm the CEO of my own company. People want to tell me I'm one in a million, when actually I'm one of millions. The stars are all around us. It's time for them to shine.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
According to the National Highway Safety Administration, in 2023, over 40,000 lives were lost on U.S. roads, including over 12,000 drunk driving fatalities and over 11,000 speeding-related deaths. During the holidays, the risk increases. Lieutenant David Ryan, the Maryland State Police Traffic Incident Management Unit, joins us to talk about what drivers can do to prevent accidents, how the police will respond to impaired and distracted driving on our roadways. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Thank you for your service to our state.
Appreciate your support.
Work zone safety is a major focus for the Department of Transportation and the Maryland State Police. Please share the state police efforts and plans to continue work zone safety.
Well, as you know, we've had some very bad tragedies in our construction zones, particularly here on 695, where we lost an entire crew of construction workers. I was privileged enough to be part of the Lieutenant Governor's traffic safety plan on construction and construction safety. So we've stepped up our construction safety enforcement. We have our mobile cameras in the construction safety zones. And our message is construction zones are hectic. There's mobile devices put into place, and to pay attention, put your phone down, slow down, and be patient when you're going through those construction zones. And the lives that you can save, not only on the roadway, but particularly those individuals that are working, that's their job, and keeping them safe.
I think we all see these construction zones and think, oh no, it's going to slow us down. And then we want to go, I'm guilty of this, faster to try to get to where we're going, which just makes that worse.
Correct. Speed is one of our major factors that lead to collisions. And again, in a construction zone, you add speed with the devices that are put in place to slow down vehicles, it can be tragic.
Holiday celebrations increase the risk of traffic crashes. What has the State Police Department done, and what are they seeing during the holiday season with impaired, distracted driving and speed?
Well, we know that the holiday seasons are some of our busiest travel times, if not our busiest. We also know that it's one of our most dangerous. So across the state, all our barracks, we step up our patrols, we increase our enforcement efforts, particularly focus on distracted driving, DUI enforcement, and speed-related infractions. And the goal is not to write citations, clearly. The goal is to prevent crashes and save lives.
For folks that are going to be out, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the things, couple things. A, there's more people on the road, as you mentioned.
Yes, sir.
But the notion of somebody thinking, you know what, I will have a second glass of wine. I'm here at the big party. I'll be fine. That's not the right deal. What do you want folks at home to know? Because that is so important. 365, but certainly this time of year.
So impaired driving, as you stated before, the amount of fatalities and injuries that are caused by something that's preventable. If you know you're going out and plan ahead, there's so many opportunities for you to use a ride share, a sober driver, planning ahead of time. And if you're able to do that, you can mitigate that being in that situation. Because if you're put into that situation, you're not only risking your own life, but everybody else's life that's out on the interstate and on the roadways that we patrol.
So important. Are there new initiatives to address some of these issues?
The Maryland State Police continues. Since I've been on, and prior to my service, I'm sure, we've always focused on DUI enforcement as a priority. We know that it causes collisions. We know that it causes fatalities, and that's one of our paramount focuses, is trying to prevent that by stopping those vehicles and making those arrests. And to the public that is out there, I mean, we can't be everywhere. Law enforcement certainly can't be everywhere at every point, but if you see something, if you see a driver that's driving erratically or recklessly, dial 911 and let us know, and you can be our eyes out there and help us combat this DUI enforcement.
How does the department partner with allied agencies to conduct highway safety initiatives?
Now more than ever, we rely on our partners, and our partners rely on us across the state. In each jurisdiction, each county, the local barracks will partner with allied agencies, with DUI enforcement task forces, DUI enforcement checkpoints. Those are collaborative efforts that are done through, collaboration with the Maryland Highway Safety Office to get all our partners on board. We all have the same goal, and that's to make sure that people get home safe and our roadways are better for everybody.
On that note, what message does state police have for drivers as this holiday season approaches? Big picture, what do you want folks to know?
First and foremost, be patient. Plan ahead. We will have some opportunities for some weather. Take time to make sure your car is ready for it. Make time to get your trip ahead, plan ahead. Be courteous to those that are driving around you. The holiday shouldn't be about tragedy. It should be about family. And if we all do our part, and we can all make it home safe and enjoy our family time and our holidays.
Thank you very much for being here. Thanks for what you do for all of us.
Thank you for having me, sir.
As you plan to enjoy holiday celebrations, remember to, if you plan to party, have a designated driver and slow down as you share the road with other drivers and pedestrians. When we return, Vincent Hill will talk with the Cash Campaign of Maryland about holiday spending, budgeting, and planning for financial fitness for the new year.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut, the one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink, or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking, now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed, better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead, catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We can't play about our future or our finances. And no matter what hand we're dealt, we still work our way to the win. Make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up, stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Now is the time to play with purpose. Let's play to win, so our future follows suit. Free game to greater things. This is pre-retirement.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
Ready! We don't have time for spills.
Next. We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Well, the holidays bring excitement about giving gifts and creating those memorable celebrations. But when the bills come, the celebration sometimes turns to stress. Well, probably all the time. As we plan for the new year, what we should do to avoid overspending for the holidays. Sarah Johnson, co-founder and COO of the Cash Campaign of Maryland, joins us to offer strategies on holiday budgeting and setting up the stage for a better financial new year. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
I'm well, thank you so much. So let's talk about this. Like, it's that time of the year.
It's that time of year.
People have the kids. They want all the fancy stuff.
That's right. All the magazines are coming in. All the stuff coming to the door.
The Sears catalog, right?
That's right.
Before a lot of people's time. But what are some tips that you offer people to make sure they're not just going well beyond their means?
Well, as we were just saying, I think one of the big strategies right now is to take a breath and try to get yourself organized and avoid some of the impulse buys, because there really is so much coming at us right now with all the marketing. It's everywhere. And so really get a plan in place first. So we really suggest thinking through what your strategy for the holidays might be, how you want to spend your resources, and really how you want to enjoy your holidays. So this means having some conversations with your friends and family to say, how are we going to do it this year, right? Do we want to buy just for the kids, and the adults maybe we do like a Secret Santa kind of thing, or maybe we want to do something as a family, as an activity, to be able to spend some time together instead of buying a lot of stuff, right? And so I think having those conversations first to decide really what is going to bring you that sense of joy with the holidays instead of the impulse buy, because a lot of that money gets spent at the last minute trying to meet the deadline.
Right. So I posted on Facebook the other day a meme that says, I looked at my budget, everyone's getting hugs this holiday season. So let's talk about the Cash Campaign. Where'd that idea come from?
So the Cash Campaign in Maryland is a statewide nonprofit, and the Cash in our name stands for Creating Assets, Savings, and Hope. Our services are free to anyone, not just in Maryland, but around the country. And so we work to promote financial education, financial capability services, and we try to promote those across the state to help people move forward with their finances.
And we kind of touched on this, waiting to the last minute, right? So what are some things throughout the year people can do to prepare for the holidays?
Well, a lot of times people like to shop sales right after the holidays to prepare for next year, right? Some of those smaller things that might be sort of the evergreen items for the stockings or things like that. So shopping sales is really important. I think making sure that, again, that you're thinking about what your budget might be over time as you're thinking about approaching the holidays, so you're not doing a lot at the last minute, because that's when we get into trouble with overspending and then dipping into using credit cards, which can really, really exacerbate a budget that's already tight, because you're dealing with high interest, and January comes and those bills come due.
Yeah, and you're going to probably have to make the minimum payments because you have other bills to take care of. It's just going to take you quite a while to pay that off, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so let's talk online shopping, right? I know a lot of people love to go online. I'm still the brick and mortar type guy that loves to go to the store.
Yeah.
But is there more of an expense when people are shopping online?
Well, there can be. I think you get bombarded with a lot of advertising when you're shopping online. You may not be able to read the fine print as easily and see what the dimensions are of something, or that the packaging might be a little strange. So I would say buyer beware when it comes to shopping online. I agree. I'd like to do a lot of brick and mortar shopping too. But the convenience of online shopping is always there, right? But I think it's in taking your time, slowing down, making sure you're not being taken advantage of with scams. We just heard a little bit about that. So making sure we're being careful with that is really important.
How do you have those tough conversations, though, with your kid that may want the latest tech? you know, the iPhone 17 just came out, right?
Yeah.
So how do you have those tough conversations, you know, to say, hey, look, we probably can't afford this?
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes it's coming up with what the strategy is to get to yes, right? So it might be no right now, but what can we do to move forward? And so when we come thinking about planning as a family around our finances, I like to think about having these as dinner table conversations versus the family fight. So how can we bring these conversations up throughout the year, not just around the holiday time, around what are some things you're hoping for, right? And what are some strategies maybe we can think of as a family of where we might be able to save so we can do some of those big things, right? Whether it's the technology, whether it's the vacation, whether it's, you know, whether those things are as a family. I think when you're on the same page around talking about money and what it takes to earn it, what it takes to spend it, and how you value it is really important. I really recommend as you're moving into the new year and thinking about your budget, right? You've survived the tidal wave of the holidays. Hopefully you're not in too much credit card debt, right? Like spend that first 30 days taking stock, track your spending for 30 days and kind of reflect and say, all right, does this match up with my values, right? Where is my money going?
Right.
Not just thinking about where to cut, because that never feels good, right? There might be new places to earn, or there might be different ways you may want to treat yourself along the way, instead of just cutting everything out.
Got it. So we've mentioned families, but let's talk about the single family home, which makes it even that much harder. It's hard enough with two incomes.
It is.
All right, but let's talk about that one income home that may have 2 or 3 kids they're trying to buy for. What would you suggest to them?
Well, so I think part of it is there's different ways to celebrate with each other, right? In terms of giving gifts. It could be you're making things together. It could be you're doing a family experience together. I think trying to come up with ways that are creative and engaging your children in the process. I'm always surprised at how creative kids can be with ways to save or ways to celebrate or things that maybe I thought they would like, but my kids like something different that's actually less expensive. That's always a win. So again, it's that dialogue and conversation around really how, as a family, how we want to be spending our money.
What other resources does the Cash campaign offer?
Well, I want to make sure people know about the Cash Academy. So this is open to anyone who'd like to have free financial education classes. We've got classes there listed on demand. So at any time of the night or day, if you'd like to take some financial education classes, they're there at cashacademy.org. And so there's also classes that are coming up in the future on investing, on saving, on building credit, on credit repair, on budgeting. So there's all kinds of really good information on the Maryland Cash Academy. Again, it's open to anyone. It is free, but it is the Cash Academy website.
And it's free.
It is.
Even though the word says
It is free. That's right. Yeah, CASH is the acronym for the organization. Yeah.
So for people that don't have access to maybe the internet, they could still probably go somewhere that has Wi-Fi and still get this, right?
That's right. Yeah. So it's available on a smartphone. It's available at a public library if you like to go to the internet on the internet there for sure.
All right, Sarah. We'll leave it right there.
Great.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. To learn more about the Cash Campaign of Maryland programs and services and how they can help you begin creating assets, saving, and financial fitness for the holidays and the new year, visit cashmd.org. Enjoy the holidays and keep in mind this is a season of scams, roadway risk, and overspending. Protect yourself and your family.